Alright, so for starters, in OB, I'm going to show you the items for postpartum hemorrhage, which I may or may not get to install for you, but as long as you know what they look like, you will be able to figure it out. So, this is the part of the uterus that is attached to the air compressor, which you can fill up and make feel boggy or harder based upon what's going on with the postpartum hemorrhage. The uterus will actually go into the mannequin, and it just sits in there. I do not know what actually connects to that. As you can see, we have numerous boxes. We may have actual parts for that. I have not looked at that. Additionally, there is a clamp down piece that goes over that in order to ensure that that uterus stays. And once you have the uterus in, this boggy part will then go over it and then plug into the mannequin. These guys here are the fake clots, and this is on the windowsill behind the computer. Moving forward, this is Sim Mom. We disconnect your abdomen from lower buttons, and there are additional buttons in the front at the pubis symphysis. And we go ahead and remove that outer skin. I don't know why they had that in there, I suppose to feel for the belly. In any case, when they cover that, you no longer feel the fetal heart tones. This is where this little guy plugs into, right down there, okay? And then you should be able to feel fetal heart tones right about here on the abdomen, okay? So, we take baby out by sliding this cartridge off, and this really has to be lubed up with the Surgilube. We essentially, from the exam rooms, any old stuff we'll bring in here and reuse. So baby is plugged in with occiput up or anterior facing, and in order to pull her out, it's a little challenging, but we can manipulate her a little bit, maybe. Oh, she's super dry. She is not going to come out of there. Pause. So essentially I grabbed her from here and pulled her up, and then we can go ahead and remove the baby from the cartridge. Oh my god, she's really stuck. Oh, we just inverted her vagina. That's not a good thing. In any case, she is super crusty from all the lube that has been left on her. The umbilicus plugs right in, and then that is the placenta, and there is baby on the outside. Her feet get plugged into this bottom piece, and of course she does need to be lubed up in order for this thing to work properly. So, I am going to pause this for a moment, clean up baby, and go ahead and get her lubed back up, and then demonstrate how to reinsert her. So, I'm going to spray her down with water, or him, whatever suits your fancy. And all the components nicely. When we add water to water-soluble lubricant, it works wonders and turns it back into lubricant. And then it makes it much easier to wipe down and clean up. In addition to spraying down the baby, this is your little air compressor that the air gets pumped into, and it actually pushes the cartridge with the baby down through the birth canal. So in addition to lubing up the baby or applying water to ensure proper lubrication, we're going to go ahead and spray inside this mom cartridge as well, and then kind of rub it down. And I always try to make sure I bring in some additional paper towels because your hands will be kind of gross after this. Really make sure this rubberized birth canal is super lubed, and I say that lovingly, otherwise the baby will not come out, and it makes for a very difficult delivery that requires more assistance than we prefer. With that being said, now that we have it lubed, we're going to go ahead and install the baby and the cartridge. So first off, we're going to put baby's feet into the holes, into that cartridge, and slide them right down in there, just like so. When she's thoroughly lubed up, she fits nice and easy into here and squats in. We're then going to go ahead and fold up her arms and make sure they're in proper anatomical position. And then make sure that the umbilical cord is also attached and thoroughly lubed up. We're going to plug in that umbilical cord, just like so, and go ahead and insert her head into this cartridge. Alright, so I am doing this one-handed, so we'll see how this works. So now you're going to see me go ahead and put the baby's head down into the rubberized birth canal. Okay, then I am going to get this base cartridge in front of that accordion air compartment and go ahead and slide her in like so. And there's two little things here that one of them will have plugged into the very side, which is where you want to be. So this baby is now inserted properly into this cartridge. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and tuck the umbilical cord onto this side, which would be the right side of the mannequin if you're, well, left side if you're looking at the mannequin from the end of the bed. And I'm going to tuck this in over here on this side because we don't want the cord to get stuck in that groove. Okay? Once we have that, now it's time to replace the cartridge head. So baby is in there. This is the cartridge head, or cover rather. And just as how we took it off, I'm kind of grabbing it as so. And we're going to go ahead and there are a couple little grooves on here. Okay, and we're going to slide that onto both sides. Okay. And essentially what's going to happen is you're going to be on a slight angle because, again, you have that little notch and that little end piece that is going to lock into this groove. So once I slide this all the way down, we should have contact and lock in right there. And it should not come back out. So, now, we have that into the groove. We are all locked in on all ends. And baby is ready to deliver. Okay? We're going to go ahead and bring the belly back. We plug the fetal heart tones back in, and we can go ahead and secure that abdomen back down with the buttons. Now, getting mom to deliver. I am going to go ahead and open up the laptop and get her started. Slide the lock, open up the laptop, and we're going to go ahead and turn that laptop on. We're going to walk over to the mannequin. We're going to make sure we turn on her SimLink box. It's going to start blinking green. When she's fully connected, she will turn blue. On the compressor, because this is a compressor-based mannequin, we're going to flip that switch and you're going to hear that compressor turn on. The computer is booting up, and we do have the encoder and the additional monitor hooked up. So you should be able to see vitals on this additional monitor when mom is up and running. So once we're to the start screen, we're going to go ahead and give it a minute and let it load up and do its thing. So the Laerdal program will automatically load. However, that doesn't necessarily mean it directly connects immediately to the mannequin, so we must be patient. The patient monitor will start connecting, and it's stating that the link box has not yet been started for the patient monitor, so we need to give it a moment. So I'm going to see if we can connect. It's stating unable to connect, so I'm going to hit back. I'm going to go on down to this icon here, and we're going to start up this LEAP program. I'm going to close out this other box that has nothing to do with what we're doing. Oh, it's not doing what I wanted to do. Okay, so now the LEAP program is up, and this is what we should see because now it is connecting to the mannequin. So we're going to start up that link box. Once we're here, we do A before M, so automatic delivery, and it is starting the simulator now. We don't use the debriefing system, but it still loads up automatically. Once we're at this screen, we're going to now select manual mode, M after A, and it will be then starting the actual simulation session. We put the head face down, so occiput anterior, and we're going to continue once we've selected that with, and then continue without EFM history. This will bring us to the control screen. Now, in order to get mom to start working, we have to press play, okay? And that is going to start that countdown of the actual simulation. I'm going to double check and make sure she's working and put her on mode. And she is moaning. So now we're going to go ahead and deliver the head now. We're going to select that, and I'm going to run over there and hope like heck this baby comes out. And as you can see, baby is pushing on the perineum. We're going to help baby's head out just a little bit. And here comes the head. And she's turning. And baby made a full delivery. Congratulations, Mom. We're going to go ahead and put baby on the belly. I know, that was the worst delivery yet. And then that placenta will eventually make its way out as well. I know, that was gross. I also wanted to confirm with you that indeed the vitals monitor did come up. However, if it does not happen to come up, you can always go back down to that Laerdal button and pull that up and go to patient monitor. Okay, but it actually did automatically come up and was demonstrating everything that we wanted it to. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this session, and I can either exit it or start a new session or do a debrief, which we don't utilize the debriefing tool. So I am going to go ahead and exit this simulation, and yes, I'm okay with discarding the file. This will close it down and shut it down, and I'm going to hit OK, and we're going to close that, and we're going to close that, and we're going to close that program. It's asking yes, I want to exit, and then we're going to go back to shut down, and it shuts down the entire computer. So now your vital screen is blank, and then we're going to go and proceed to turning off our mannequin, and it will start blinking. We're going to proceed to turn off the compressor, and then once she stops blinking, she will be completely in the off position. For postpartum hemorrhage, we're going to go back to undoing the belly. We're going to go ahead and unplug for that and pop off all of the buttons. And obviously Mom just delivered, so we're going to do a complete hysterectomy on this poor woman because she had a postpartum hemorrhage, or is going to. So you will see some different connectors down here. These are going to be disconnected. We're going to turn them and take them off. We're going to unscrew both of these guys and take out the entire cartridge for postpartum hemorrhage. So I got those little connectors off from the screws, and I disconnected the lines, and I'm going to go ahead and remove the cartridge by lifting and pulling at the same time. At least that's what it's supposed to do. There we go. Okay. And that whole cartridge comes right out. So I put the plastic ring over the uterus, and I'm going to go ahead and set this guy into the appropriate position to allow for those screws to be placed properly, and we're going to go ahead and screw that down. Now, you can fill this with blood, which I wouldn't recommend because it's a hot mess, but that red one gently connects to that red connector, and then we're going to go ahead and put that boggy uterus on over the other one and go ahead and attach our green connector to the green port. This is the airflow. So now when you do turn Mom on into the postpartum hemorrhage scene, this will in fact be able to inflate and deflate for that postpartum scene. Again, you'll go ahead and put your abdomen over and secure it down. And that is Sim Mom in a nutshell.